I'm loving this setup. I don't know, but I'm very comfortable.
I think we should leave this.
You don't look comfortable, Nookie.
Well, I'm as comfortable as I could be, I guess. I mean, all of these wires. There's a lot of wires.
I know,
and
it's a
boxes.
tripping
There are a lot of wires.
It's a major tripping hazard.
Drew, are you going to set the scene? Like
No.
Oh,
No. Why don't you set it?
All right. Well, I'm staring directly at Drew. To my right, oh God, Nookie's already. What are you doing? To my right is Nookie drinking. It's probably some sort of. Is that an oat milk?
It's an almond milk
Okay.
iced espresso.
Yeah. So Nookie's to my right. We all look good. Nookie looks particularly good. He's wearing a WrestleMania t-shirt.
That shirt is incredible.
Thank you, WrestleMania 6 vintage.
He looks pretty uncomfortable in the chair.
Yeah, I mean, as
And
comfortable as I can be.
And he took his shoes off immediately upon entering the office.
I feel like
I
we're in a
noticed
basement somewhere.
I feel like this is an shoe-off household.
I feel like it was like, Nookie, come play foosball.
No,
Did you demand slippers too?
No, he said you should have slippers. He said, we work here. This
I
is
know,
an
but it's a
office.
nice thing to, like, offer people.
We're not a hotel.
To offer people.
Clearly.
All right, anyways, to my left is Eli. Eli looks very civilized relative to Nookie.
Yeah, very calm too.
Very calm.
I just didn't get the notes on uniform.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a dress code here.
No, you're doing pretty good.
I was a WrestleMania 8 guy, so
Anyways, Drew, that's
Yeah,
us.
and
But
then-
Eli and Nookie are looking at each other. I'm looking at you. We're
I'm
kind
on the
of
little sofa thing.
we're in a diamond. Would that be the shape?
It's great.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like this is like set up for like the weirdest game of bridge ever.
But so this is the first time also we've had 4 guests, and it's a little different format wise. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Before I forget, the music was by Espionage. It's called Last Call.
It was incredible.
Very nice.
Restaurant appropriate.
You guys
bar
liked it?
appropriate.
Really set the scene.
Nice. So yeah, how's it going? Thanks for coming into the office.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
That makes 2 of us.
Nookie's been angling to get back on this for I don't know 4 years.
I mean, I think, the last time I did it was early COVID.
It was one of the first few episodes.
You were on the other side of the room.
We were doing like 20-minute segments, you know, and it was very good to have you. And since then, you've tried to get me to do a podcast with you. And then as I started questioning you, I realized you just wanted your own podcast. You just wanted me to help you like put it together.
Potentially true.
Yeah.
That could have happened.
Yeah. So that was...
It would have slapped. And still will.
Let's see how it goes today, and then we can talk about future podcasts together.
Love that.
But yeah, thank you, Nookie. Do we call you just Nookie? Chef Nookie?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Steve is here. Steven is here.
Stefan.
From formerly Commonwealth and a bunch of other places now.
probably
Revival Cafe. Yeah.
It's probably important to let anyone know that Steve and Nookie are the same person. There isn't
Yes.
a 5th person
it's
here.
Steve, Chef Steve, Postal,
yeah.
Nookie.
I like to say Nookie's my professional name. Steve Postal is my personal name. So, like Cher, Madonna,
Right.
Prince,
Right.
Sting.
Okay. And then, currently co-owner of Revival Cafe and Kitchen.
Correct. And Mothership.
Is
yes.
it cafe and kitchen, not kitchen and cafe?
Correct. Revival Cafe and Kitchen.
And Mothership, how's Mothership doing in Arlington?
We're in Cambridge, and it's
Is it Cambridge?
doing terribly at Arlington.
Yeah, really poor in Arlington. But Cambridge is good. Yeah, no, things are good. I mean, it's fine. It's fair. It's what it is. Sorry, I'm readjusting. Oh my God.
All right.
First, we have Nookie with the ice. Oh, he's going for it again. Drew, do you see what's happening right now? Oh, people have to listen to this.
People love that sound. Okay, that gets the people going. I'm telling you this. Gets the people going.
So
Everybody
this may be
knows
the
what
last
it
time
is.
Chef Nookie is here, and also
Not
we
going
have
well.
ice drinks. Eli, welcome.
I have one name. It's only got 3 letters. I've got no ice. I clearly have no game. Like, this is the Nookie show.
No.
Left and right.
No,
We're here
it's
to
good.
talk. We're here to talk restaurant.
And Nookie, when you're back of the house at the restaurant, and obviously you spend a lot of time back of the house, do you have slippers?
We call them
great question.
kitchen shoes, and yes, I do have a different. I do change from my regular shoes to
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you should have slippers here. You should have branded Graffito slippers. People would love them. They'd wear them around the house. They'd think about Graffito, and it would be nice to have around the office.
I was just in Park City for work. I got back late last night.
Yeah, you've been gone all week.
I've been gone all week. Baltimore, then Park City. But anyways, I brought some of our socks. We have no socks left.
How did you bring them?
Because remember I tried to send a nice holiday package to the Good Space folks in Brooklyn. It got returned.
I didn't know that.
I recently discovered it under my desk, and there were 7 socks in it. So 4 of them I brought out, still in the original packaging, to the Deer Valley East Village team. They were very happy with these socks.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be happy if you gave them?
They're great socks.
These socks are great. They're a little tight on me, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But slippers would be a nice upgrade.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever heard someone say socks didn't fit them.
Yeah. Why?
These don't for some reason.
Right.
No, they're fitted socks. They're actually cycling socks. Like they have a heel.
I think they're
Thank
great.
you.
My heel ends up like up way past my
they
ankle.
feel weird.
I think you guys are also putting them on wrong. That's my sense. I think it's
I love
probably-
them. I have no issue with the socks, really, at all. Hold on. Baltimore and Park City.
Monday morning, flew to Baltimore. We have a project down there.
Okay.
Tuesday morning, flew to Salt Lake and was there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Those are pretty different places.
It was actually jarring.
Utah, you're talking about?
Yes.
How's Utah?
Not like Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore, we talk a lot about our downtown in Boston. You go to Baltimore and, the city feels completely empty downtown. And there are pockets around it by where University of Maryland, Baltimore is, and then down by the harbor. And the harbor keeps kind of moving east where all the development money is. But, Noah and I were down there. We walked from basically Fells Point all the way back to the other side to MLK Boulevard, like very far west. And you walk through downtown and it's hard to see a city that is in downtown the condition that Baltimore is, with buildings with no lights on, and you'll walk a block and not see another human being. It was jarring in some ways. And then you hop out to the mountains, really different context. But that's not why we're here. Is it true?
Super uplifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. We actually do have a reason to be here. I've called you all here today because there's a lot of articles going around about pet peeves and things we want to see more of at restaurants, things we want to see less of. There was an article a few weeks ago in the Globe that was really about pet peeves. Then the New York Times, as a follow-up to their kind of like best 50 restaurants in the United States, they polled all their writers and basically asked them, like, what are some trends you're seeing while you were on assignment? What are things you want to see less of? And what are things you want to see more of? So to me, this is all really exciting because I have my own personal pet peeve list that's in my Apple Notes that I pull up at dinners. When you go to dinner with me, this is what the entertainment.
Do you hand it out like an allergy card?
No, you know what?
Drew is one of my pet peeves.
Going to dinner with Drew is a pet peeve. Well, I accept that. I took that. I'm not super fun all the time, but I do have this list. So when I see these things get written about, I'm always comparing my own notes to these articles. So I thought you guys would be the perfect people to discuss this with, mostly because you can set me straight if some of these pet peeves I have are unrealistic. So
This is going to be so much fun. I didn't even know what we were doing.
yeah, we like to leave people in the
Well,
dark
I think they're
a little
probably
bit.
realistic if they're your own pet peeves. The question is, are they reasonable? Right?
Right.
I mean, either way, they're bothering you. So as as someone who's in the hospitality industry, it's our goal for you to come in and
just
not
wait.
be bothered.
You would think that would be the case. And it always is shocking how, especially when we talk about hospitality, how some of these things are so against all rules of hospitality from my perspective.
Well, I think you gotta. All right, let's hear. Let's,
Yeah,
Okay, well, we're going to
spit
get
'em
into
out.
it.
Yeah, I'm like-
Before we do this, though, there's a disclaimer that my wife and I spend more money dining out probably on any other expense in our house. If you looked at our annual expenses and like if our account looked at, they would think we just don't have a kitchen. I mean, we're out a lot. And I truly appreciate the insane amount of work it goes into running a restaurant. I know it's one of the toughest business out there. Okay, we're
What's the
good. Like, I
disclaimer?
don't want any that. I love restaurants. I want them to succeed. I have so many friends in the restaurant business. This is not a reason to just dump on restaurants.
Great.
It's a
And you
home-
dump
It
on
would be really weird to invite two people who own restaurants in to talk to them about, and then just dump on restaurants.
I've done weird things, Eli.
But in fairness, like, it's not, you complain about a lot of things, not just restaurants.
I have pet peeves about most things in life.
Right. So this isn't a restaurant
Right.
specific.
No,
This
I
is
have
more of a Drew
No, I
thing.
have specific ones for each of you.
Yeah.
Like we can really
Got
get
it.
into
So is this the first of a series?
it. Maybe so. Maybe that's what we do.
The way we could do it on the whole office, the way people chew.
There is an issue with
Guests
people
that take
chewing.
their shoes off.
I feel,
Dave brought a bunch of apples in the office, and I almost immediately threw them out.
isn't this basically Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. Maybe, but anyway, let's get into this. There's a bunch in here, and I'm going to single a few out. We start with trends. This leads right into the pet peeves. Don't worry, Nookie, we're getting there. I'm trying to ease people into.
We're
this.
just sitting here waiting.
I
Nookie's
know.
literally
I
sitting
know,
here
just
playing
like-
with his fingers.
Yeah.
I'll quote the whole thing here, but this is a trend. One of the writers said, "A new, no-nonsense, almost t-shirt casual style of service that mixes the best of the personal, quote, I'm Chad and I'll be your server era, with an efficiency and confidence that says, quote, this isn't all that serious, but we're going to nail it." So not all restaurants do this really well, but when they do, it's great. Is this like a restaurant, like a tactic as part of the restaurant to like make you feel at home and at ease?
I mean, I would like to think that that's part of any restaurant or place of hospitality at some level. You know, one of the things I shared out with you guys, like obviously 8 minutes before we sat down to do this and no one had a chance to look at it. But like, whenever I hear stuff like that, I'm so reminded of like that famous scene in the Barbie movie.
Oh, is that what came through here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, it's weird because there's 4 dudes sitting around in a circle here. And I'm
I
gonna
love
talk
the
about
Barbie movie.
so like there was that famous monologue by the American Ferrera character about like how it's impossible to be a woman. And again, strange that we're sitting here talking about this, but like that type of statement reminds me, like, be eminently approachable but incredibly dynamic and creative. Be the right amount of formal but not too formal, professional and knowledgeable but not alienating in any possible way at all. Like, what we want from restaurants is pretty freaking crazy sometimes. And I love it. It's my life's work, but I don't know. I hear stuff like that and it's awesome. It's of course what we all want. We want to feel comfortable, recognized, taken care of, but not alienated, not uncomfortable. But it's like, fuck.
It's impossible.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
Man, we should have saved
Over
this
and
for the
over
end.
and over
This would have
again.
been a good ending.
Now I'm getting to my pet peeves.
Well, look,
But it's a good thing, but it's also like it's in the article.
it's
the New York Times
impossible to
article.
nail.
It's impossible to nail. And like the number of things in the New York Times article that were like, you know, we want our restaurants to be way more adventurous, but then Borgo is super approachable and that's what we love about it. And it's like, sometimes two things can't be true at the exact same time.
Right. There's one more trend, and then we can get right into it. How are we feeling about the decline of QR codes and QR code menus? What they said in particular was the rise of chalkboard menus and the decline of QR code menus.
Is that true? I mean, I don't like
This is a
QR.
trend that was noticed.
I don't like taking my phone out when I go out to dinner
Same.
At all, right?
at all. Like I have
Unless
my
you're
phone on
reading-
at work. It's like if I open my phone, I see emails, I see
Yeah.
something's broken, and if I'm going out to dinner, I don't want to open my phone.
Yeah, I only open it to open the pet peeves list, but you're right. I really don't like to. But I don't miss the QR codes. I don't miss how restaurants handled QR codes. Sometimes it goes to a PDF that's easier to open and stretch and like make bigger. Sometimes it goes to a web page that you can't. Like I
But
think
that's a pet peeve of like, you know,
It's a
this we're
systematic thing.
restaurant people. We're not tech people. Like we don't know how to
Right,
do that. Like we were
exactly.
forced to do QR codes and figure it out, and we don't know how to do that stuff.
yeah.
I'm glad QR codes are going away, although I
Yeah.
do think something eventually needs to come in that does what they kind of do, which is just like some sort of much more like comfortable non-phone
Yeah.
digital interface for
Yeah.
a menu. I think actually does need to happen.
There are some restaurants, and there's one in particular, Turner's in Melrose, where I live. You can just order on your phone. The QR code literally goes to a menu, but it's a toast menu, and you can order for your table, and it comes. You never really interact with the server. I feel like I've seen that more and more too.
It's like Applebee's. They got that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
But the screen's like on the table.
On the
already?
table, and you can play games. You can order things.
Yeah, I think Yard House does that as well.
You know, our beef noodle spot over here on South Street that I'm at often, actually Andrew Holden is a big fan as well. It's interesting. You walk in there and they hand you an iPad and you just order on the iPad and it's right in front of you. And like, I actually like that experience as a customer better. They're giving it to me. I'm ordering on an iPad. It has certain efficiencies for them in the kitchen and for their team, but I'm not pulling out my phone.
I like
and everyone
that.
else I'm sitting with is not pulling out their phone and having that it almost is so at odds with the experience of dining with other people that you sit down immediately, you pull your phone out and you're all in, like, your head is in there. But the iPad thing, for whatever reason, feels a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't. No love lost for the disappearance of QR codes. It's especially annoying, like trying to read a wine list on a phone.
Yeah.
Like cocktails.
Zooming in and like
Ridiculous.
Are we getting dumplings for this? Are there dumplings coming at all?
After this, you mean?
Yes, or sometime.
I don't know.
Because that's what people really want on a podcast is to hear you eat.
No, you were talking about.
Yeah, we can get dumplings.
Yeah, I think we should get dumplings.
we can do dumplings. Yeah.
All right, good. We'll settle that later.
Great.
Okay, this is a trend, but definitely.
This is the third time you've said
Drew,
this.
what's happening?
You're like, this is the last one. This is the last one. This is the last
this
one.
leads into one of my pet peeves, and it has to do with zero proof cocktails as a trend.
Big
Shybird.
trend going up.
Yeah.
Yes, big trend.
A lot of non-alcoholic cocktails. One writer said that there was a trend that the mocktails are sometimes better than the cocktails. But let's get into this a little bit, because as a mostly non-drinker, they also say more cocktails, but especially those that veer savory, and please keep the prices lower than the cocktail offerings. There are some places I go and I get a non-alcoholic drink and it's served to me like a cocktail. It doesn't work that way. I need a tall glass, something I can drink that will last more than a minute, especially if I'm paying $10 plus. Go.
Sounds like you should not be ordering.
Yeah.
You're ordering the wrong thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You guys go.
Get an Arnold Palmer if you want a giant drink, or get a soda.
No, trust me. I love the idea of these non-alcoholic cocktails.
A lot of that stuff has got handmade stuff in it, and these non-alcoholic spirits are expensive too.
They taste really
absolutely
good.
are.
And you're paying for the labor. Like, it's not just but go ahead. Let the people who actually know what they're talking about weigh in. This is going to be fun, though.
I mean, I'm struggling to figure out how to answer you respectfully.
Don't worry about respect.
We're not here to be respectful.
We're not here to be respectful.
So you get that, like, food isn't profitable,
Yes.
generally speaking,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And alcohol is.
Yes.
Okay. And you work for a placemaking and retail commercial real estate firm, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you're familiar with the concept of rent.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. Okay.
So if everyone who comes to eat at a restaurant stops buying the profitable thing
Yes.
and only buys the non-profitable thing, how do you think that impacts our ability to pay that? What's it called again?
Yeah, but are you implying that some of the ingredients in a non-alcoholic beverage are as expensive as the alcoholic? They are more.
More. Do you know how cheap a bottle of Smirnoff or a bottle of vodka can be?
Right.
Like Seedlip is way more expensive than the majority of name brand spirits that you might be used to seeing in a well.
For sure.
You're like a vodka tonic relative to some of these mocktails. The cost of goods is way lower.
The labor is the same. The cost of goods is not radically different. And most importantly, like Matimco or Alexandria, as much as I love them as landlords, they didn't decrease my rent because people started drinking less alcohol. But they are drinking less alcohol.
People are definitely drinking less.
Dramatically less.
Yes.
It's like in every possible publication. So like, if you love restaurants, which I take you at your word that you do, this is not a reasonable pet peeve.
Get the mocktail, enjoy it. Maybe don't chug it, and enjoy it. And
Can I share a pet peeve?
Yeah. Oh no, we're still on trends.
No, on the specific
we're moving
one.
to
No,
pet peeve.
I actually have no pet peeves. I'm just happy to be in restaurants. It's going to be fun.
Bullshit.
No, it's not really bullshit. But anyways, my pet peeve related to mocktails is when my and Cy Baerkahn, my two 11-year-olds, order a $15 mocktail, and they do what Drew does, and it shows up. And before I've taken a sip of whatever I'm ordering, they're done.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah, because to them it's like a high C.
No, but it's just so funny. I actually enjoy it. I think it's a way of supporting restaurants, but like it is funny. I mean, they're so delicious, they're so tasty, and it has so much less. And this is your concern, Drew. You kind of eat and drink like a 11-year-old, anyways, right? So like there's like 3 ounces of fluid in there, right? And they're used to like a full glass, gone, and they're not savoring it. They're just sucking this thing down, and they could have 3 or 4 of them. It's an expensive dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's those little cordial glasses. When those show up with like 3 ounces of fruit juice, I'm like, really? This is not going to last long. So, hear you. Great point. I'm almost ready to take it off my list.
I mean, we haven't even started the pet peeves, and I'm already angry.
We made progress.
This is going to be hard for Drew.
Random sidebar here.
Yes.
Nookie.
Yes.
Obviously, a 12 or 13-year-old sitting in your restaurant orders a non-alcoholic beer. Do you serve it?
No.
Is it illegal? Like, what are the rules against that?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
But it came up like probably about 6 months ago, and I was like, wow, I have never thought about this before.
Any idea?
I think isn't there a small amount of alcohol
up to
in it?
0.5%.
it's still a trace of alcohol.
Can they have a kombucha?
Yes, they can have.
Yes,
kombucha.
they can have kombucha.
This is just sorry, total sidebar.
Why are you
cut or edit?
So
but
I would
it
say
is an interesting.
my sense is that because you can go into, so I'm just dating this, before grocery stores were selling alcohol, or even go to a grocery store right now that doesn't have a liquor license, they can sell NA beer. Mm-hmm. Anyone can buy it.
Yeah.
So my suspicion is that if in Massachusetts you can sell NA beer at a place that doesn't have a package license or a right to sell it, and therefore the assumption is that anybody can buy anything in that place, like a 16-year-old can go in and buy it, I don't see any reason why a restaurant couldn't serve an NA beer to somebody.
Yeah, to me, I don't think that there's a legal, I don't know this for certain, I don't know if there's any legal or regulatory thing around it. But morally, like my knee-jerk reaction is the same. It's absolutely not. Yeah. But and I would say the same thing if someone has a non-alcoholic drink that has like Monday
but your
rum in it.
Hold on, but your instinct's different with a mocktail.
Yeah, it's still called.
It depends on what's in the mocktail.
Yeah, but what if it's like
got
a non-alcoholic
But if it's got like an alcohol replacement in it, so like a no
bitters
alcohol rum and bitters, like no. But if it's all juice and fruit and something to make it sparkle, sure. Like it's just this weird liminal space that I don't know what the right answer is.
I've never thought about it.
I think you could do it legally. I think it is odd.
Untapped market.
Getting kids hooked on NA beer.
Yeah.
Jesse, in this article, actually, one of the writers wanted to see less of restaurants carved into new buildings as afterthoughts, which I thought was very Graffito appropriate.
Yes.
What do you think they meant by that?
Well, I think they're basically approaching their vacant retail space, and as an afterthought, they're saying, "Oh, we got nothing else to put in here. Let's just throw a restaurant in." Right? Or they're developing a piece of real estate and they're not thinking through what a restaurant needs to be successful in that space, right? So the storefront's messed up, the entryways are messed up, they're spending money in places they shouldn't. I think about, I've had this experience so many times at great places and actually many cafes where they're on the street, but you enter through a lobby as opposed to actually having an entryway on the street. And that was just a miss by the developer, right? So, I mean, my gut is that writer has had the same experiences and is probably like, I just wish these real estate developers had actually thought at inception about how do we create a space for a great restaurant or a great cafe. And they're going back in and doing it retroactively. And I think consumers can feel that. Like you feel those experiences. I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think there's not a lot of things. It seems like the number of things you can put in your ground floor retail is decreasing, or like the uses. So you end up with a lot of weird food uses all over the place where maybe it wasn't designed to be there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think some are good and some are not good.
Yeah, and I think it's up to the restaurant and up to the design team to make it feel good. If you're going to take the space, Like,
Make it work for it.
you kind of got to make it work and make it feel good.
But it just makes our jobs harder, right? Finding somebody that can appreciate whatever that setup is if it's not right for a restaurant.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the Scheiberg #1, which we worked on, like that's an old, the corner Scheiberg's on,
Kendall.
at 1 Broadway. That used to be a security desk for an office building, but that's really different. Like MIT went back in there and they blew up the entire space and they thought about entries in and out. Like that's a different story. But I do think about the first revival commissary in Alewife. And there was, that felt very forced into a space. They'd never contemplated a cafe there. They had contemplated a commercial kitchen. It was Whole Foods commercial kitchen before, or like corporate cafeteria. But the entry sequence was weird.
Super.
But in a weird way, like it kind of was endearing and people really liked it. You entered in the back of the building, but it was also your commissary.
Yes.
So it felt, it was kind of neat actually.
Nice. Still there.
Yeah, it's quirky.
But
Now we're in the front of the building.
now you're in the front of the building.
Right. We have a proper door.
Right.
Yes.
This next one, I think, can we all agree that when drinks come after the first course, that's bad?
That's a miss.
Can we all agree on that?
Agreed.
Okay.
I mean, unless it's just like, like bread or something like.
Sure. No, we're talking like first course sometimes. And we all experienced that, I think, at some point. The appetizers come and you're still waiting for cocktails or something.
Absolutely.
Eli's being very careful.
I'm being very careful because like there's just the potential for hypocrisy here. The amount of times that happens at Scheiberg is like
yes, but is that
wild?
But is that intentional?
No.
So then you can agree, right?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I absolutely agree.
But
it's a harder problem to solve than you would think.
Okay, well, so let's talk about that. One writer said he wanted to see less bars that seemed to be working in another time zone as the rest of the house, pouring drinks that arrive long after the courses they're supposed to accompany. Another said meal pacing dictated solely by the kitchen rather than diners. You would think a server would look at the table with the drinks on the way, or with the food on the way and be like, hold up, something's not going on. And sort of rethink that scenario rather than just bringing the food. What's going on here, Eli?
Man, I'm going to sound like, so.
No, first of all, I'm the idiot here in this scenario.
I don't think I'm going to sound like an idiot. I'm going to sound like an anti-hospitality person, which I am absolutely not. I believe wholeheartedly in it. It's what's going on there in some ways is like, some of it is ego. Like, yes, of course, like cocktails that in a vacuum take 11 minutes to create is obnoxious.
Right.
Like, it's totally obnoxious. But like, there's also, could the server stop something from happening?
I mean, they have food, it's warm, so it's not like you want to just turn around.
You can't just turn around. Server sections are tending to get bigger because staffing issues are what they are. We also want servers to make good living, which means sections need to get larger. Like, so it's a lot harder to manage some of that stuff than maybe it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago. Like, I totally agree with, like, it's just, all this shit is harder than you think. Like, it's not as, like,
I think you got your drinks before and they're like, these guys, they're not even thinking, they're not even trying. Like, it's hard. It's hard to time it all perfectly.
I think I understand all of that it's hard. And like, going back to my disclaimer, love restaurants, love everybody, but it just seems to happen a lot and over and over. And it seems like if drinks take 11 to 12 minutes, maybe the restaurant needs to understand that and hold off on the food a little bit, or like slow down what's happening in the kitchen. It just seems like, there are ways to predict it happening or ways to stop it from happening as it's going on.
I mean, pre-batch your cocktails so that they come out a lot faster. But then the experience of dining at the bar is not the same. And it's not like when you pre-batch all your drinks, guests who are sitting at the bar oftentimes like to see drinks being made. And if they just watch someone pour something out of a bottle, like it's I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be an asshole.
No.
All this stuff is trickier than the sound bites that end up in a New York Times trend roundup.
Yep. How do you guys feel about, you said you like to just place your order all at once.
Yes.
When you go to restaurants, do you like that flexibility to order slowly? I know Shybird, you can sort of put in things as you go, but there are a lot of restaurants that when you land at a restaurant, you might be catching up. You just want to order a snack or two, and the server inevitably tells you, we really need to take the order all at once.
Well, that goes to the point of like trying to pace your meal properly for you. So that you're not like, okay, no, we're going to wait. And then you're like, okay, we're hungry. Hello, can we order? And then it's like a huge gap before you get your food. And you're like, we ordered our drinks and we didn't get our food for like 45 minutes.
But is that really what's going on? Because a lot of times you're told it's because it's for the kitchen's sake, or like to make it easier on the kitchen.
Oh, there's so let me give me my answer to the first part of the question.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a guest should be able to set the terms of how they experience a restaurant the vast majority of the time, but they should also maybe acknowledge that there might be elements of how the restaurant runs that the person who works in it might be better suited to understand. And so like it can be both. And I guess to your second point, like we all got to remember, like this is physics and chemistry. Like you can only denature the proteins of a steak so fast. And so, like, is that really what's happening? Yeah, a lot of the time, it's what's happening. A lot of the things that go wrong in a restaurant, if you really peel it back, they end up being physics problems. Mm-hmm. Two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time, and you can only change the cellular structure of something so quickly using heat.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like you're gonna be like, we just want some snack. We're just gonna order some snacks now, and then we're gonna order our entrees later. And you have your snacks, and then you're like ready to order, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna get the ribeye, and it's like, cool, that takes 45 minutes.
Right.
If you put it in together,
especially if there's a
nicer
time limit nowadays, trying to keep people under 90 minutes or whatever. If it's 2 to 4 people, or I have had times where I've said, yeah, okay, fine, we'll order it all at once, and then they course it poorly. It comes out really fast, and you're all of a sudden you're done in 30 minutes, and you kind of want to have a nice long night
if you're a
out.
Restaurant that's like requiring that, you have to do a good job at it. Like that's got to be, if you're like, you got to give us the order all at once, then you got to be good at pacing.
I found myself, because of this, and I don't know if COVID had something to do with this and these time limits being more sort of a constraint that had not been there before, but sometimes I have to slow my wife down because I think our meal is going way too fast. She'll order a lot of stuff, especially at a place like Shybird or Sarma, where there's sort of smaller plates, tapas styles. And I know they're going to come out quick. And I find myself coursing my own meal, because like, it's just, I know I'm going to be out of there in 25 minutes if I let this place
this sounds like a pet peeve with your wife, not with the restaurant.
Well, that's another episode. She will come in. But going back to your point, like I think I sometimes have had such quick meals and don't trust the coursing enough that I try and like step in as sort of like a customer and say, I'm going to pace my own meal. Thank you very much.
I mean, I think we do have to try to read the environment and get a sense of whether someone wants to be there for 45 minutes or 2 hours and 15 minutes. But it's like, I don't know. It just seems like there's a way to accomplish this that's kind of like mutually beneficial to everyone, which is like, when you're making your reservation, hey,
but
we'd love to go at a leisurely pace. Like,
Well,
I don't know why Resi or Open Table doesn't give me that.
Right.
I've had many. I actually had one this week. We were at this great restaurant in Park City called Matilda. Shout out! It's like best meal I ever had in Park City. I've been out there.
Shout out!
Yeah, it's a good one. And I said to the server, we had a big group, and like she was lovely, and it was really busy. They squeezed us in. I was like, "Is it easier for you? Like, should we put everything in all at once? Or are you cool taking stuff and putting some apps now?" And like, it kind of it was a great experience. There was an open dialogue, and like that worked really well.
That's the way to do it.
Totally. But like, it does feel like there are very few, and I know that probably stood out for her because most customers don't do that. It feels like somehow the industry, like, I don't know how often customers are engaging in that way with your staff, but it seems like the way people react to me, like it's not happening that much, like that open dialogue. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if I'm totally, I don't know.
I don't know. This is like the beauty, the complication, what's so fascinating about restaurants. They just occupy this weird ass space in the modern world of like, where else, like in every other way you think about your entertainment dollar. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of dynamic pricing here, but like, in every other part of your life, everybody's totally cool. Like if you want to fly at Thanksgiving, it's going to cost more than if you want to fly at a random weekend in March. If you want to sit at the front of the show, you pay more.
Right.
We're totally cool with this in every other part of our life. Mm-hmm. The one place where like people lose it,
yes,
is restaurants. And like I just think that speaks to how differently we think about restaurants than anything else we do with especially our disposable income. It's wild.
Yeah, and actually culturally, like you think about other restaurants are both, it's a product, right? And it's also a service, which is interesting. So it's hybrid. But like you think about the experience going in and getting a haircut. You're engaging with that service provider about what you like, what's working, what's not. Is this thing too tight? Like, and then, but at the same time, like any other place you're going in for a retail experience where you're not buying something off the shelf. Mm-hmm. In restaurants, you're not just buying something off the shelf most of the time, where there's some sort of customization around it. There is engagement, right? And for whatever reason, it's kind of interesting and eye-opening. Like, I don't feel like there's as much engagement around the service side of restaurants between service provider and customer. It still feels very transactional when you look around a restaurant. Yeah. You're going in there, you tell them what you want, and that's it. And obviously, good hospitality facilitates more engagement. But I'm not seeing that much when I'm in restaurants of that kind of engagement. And it is a unique place in the retail and service industry. It is kind of an anomaly when you think about it.
But aren't you going to a restaurant because of the way they do things? Right? Like you don't want that sort of collaboration. Right?
Well, I do, but I feel like I'm in the minority.
I think everyone wants to kind of tailor their experience to some degree to what is ideal for them.
I also wonder, and I'll let you guys respond to this. It's so interesting. I also wonder if just our family unit and I have been conditioned for more engagement because my wife has celiac, and we're just so used to having conversations with servers that's just our MO. Like you go into a restaurant, you let them know, like, you know, we have one person that has celiac disease, and that once you start engaging, I don't know, it's very interesting to think about.
Yeah, it's funny. One of the things we talk about in the restaurants, especially with managers, but it's something we're kind of bringing out to everyone now. And it's probably not a good idea on a podcast to talk about a visualization, but anyway, we're going to try it anyway. So like if you think about like a cross, so like a vertical line and a horizontal line, and on the horizontal line, on one end is transaction, on the other end is experience. And on the vertical line, there can be one of two things, $1 sign or $4 signs, or a short amount of time or a long amount of time. It's in some ways, life would be so much easier if every table when they sat down just put themselves on that matrix somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
right. This is my expectation.
I want to be in the bottom left quadrant. Great. You want something transactional and relatively inexpensive. Cool. I'm good. Like, how might...
But this
is
my
point. If there's any technology
like,
people listening, like, how do we do that? Because everyone would be wildly
But not all restaurants can accommodate for all those people, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
or maybe it's like an app that you put it in, and then it gives you all the things.
I actually think most could.
You go to Mothership. You know where you are on the quadrant. I feel like there's a mutual understanding where.
But if you didn't know, you just would push the quadrant, and it would give you all the options of places that fit in the quadrant.
Within any restaurant, there's places to be within that quadrant. Like at Shybird, you can literally be in the bottom left corner and spend $20.
Yeah, or go for the steak.
Never interact at all.
Yeah.
Or at dinner, you can have
it's fascinating.
The top right quadrant, and it's like it's really interesting to think about. Like,
well, let's make it
price.
real.
You can when you make your reservation, you just
but think about Drew's experience where he goes in there with a couple he's been wanting to catch up with, and he has expectations about the coursing and time and all this. That very same restaurant, I may go in with my kids and want to be out of there in an hour tops. Mm-hmm. Same restaurant, tops. I said tops.
Yeah,
but like, you know. That's interesting. It's the same restaurant, same service, the same food. And like Drew wants to be there for almost 2 hours. I want to be out of there in 45 minutes.
Better 45.
Yeah. And I think this is one of the reasons, that it's really fun to become a regular in a restaurant. Because then you end up having those dialogues, and then over time people,
they know what you expect.
They know when you walk in with the kids versus when you walk in with just like, so for us, I live south of the city. Steel and Rye is that place. And like, sometimes we walk in with our 3.5-year-old. Sometimes it's just my wife and I.
But you may have a babysitter home, so you got to be home.
Right. And it's like, how on earth is a restaurant ever supposed to piece all of that together? And I don't know. It's just something That is the art and beauty of hospitality, is that you do try to read those things. But I wonder if we are moving towards a world where like someone could create a much more elegant way of letting both sides meet at the right spot based on their expectations.
Some service providers have figured it out.
Yeah.
You pick whether or not you want a massage for 60 minutes or 90 minutes. I mean, restaurants are not spas, but like there are many products where you're actually paying for time. There are some experiments going on right now where restaurants are actually looking at variable pricing and also pricing based on how long you're at a place.
Yeah, how does that work? Dynamic pricing for restaurants. Could that ever work? You're
I mean,
slow, the price goes down. You're busy, the price goes up.
I mean, a lot of people have tried it. I mean, if you think about what TOC originally was, like
Yes.
TOC, the ticketing system, that was
Right.
essentially trying to do that. It was, you know, like it does fundamentally fly in the face of economics. When demand and supply, when supply exceeds demand, price should be lower. When demand exceeds supply, price should be higher. And that's literally a truism of economics everywhere but restaurants.
Isn't that what happens like happy hour?
We have like these backdoor weird ways of trying to accomplish it in restaurants because society won't tolerate what they tolerate in planes and trains and theaters. They won't tolerate it from restaurants.
So my capstone project at business school was about exactly this. And it was creating a system where if you had too many Bud Lights on hand that night, the price would change to try and get rid of Bud Lights. And I was inspired by this. I don't know if it's still around, but there was a bar and it was called like The Market. And it was basically based on...
It was in New York, right?
Yeah, it was in New York, and they had a
down
ticker.
by Wall Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they had the ticker. And if a lot of people were ordering rum and Cokes, the price would shoot up. And it would literally on the menu go kick, 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 kick. You know, meanwhile, the gin and tonic price would go down. That's simplifying it. But like, you know, and it was this idea where you could tie your inventory into the pricing.
Yeah, and the reality is if a guest got, and I understand it and I actually respect it and I love it about restaurants, like if the four of us were out, or like you two were out and you were at one table and we were out at another table and you paid X for that Bud Light and I paid Y for that Bud Light, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, but I guess the idea is if it's a game, if it's a thing, if it's kitschy, that's part of the game. But yes, you're right. If it's just a... You know, but then again, he'll book an airline ticket right after me that's $20 cheaper.
That's the thing that's crazy,
you know?
is like if I'm sitting at a concert, I know that the person who's closer
Paid
to
a
the
different
stage
price.
Right.
paid way more than me. And
But not only that, they might sit right next to you, but because they waited a little bit longer, they're paying more. Or you waited a little longer.
but
right.
this is the one place where like that shit doesn't
Yeah.
fly.
No, it's
Restaurants, it just doesn't fly.
Yeah.
Nookie, does this make you miss owning a full service? Well, I guess Mothership's full service, but like, you know, isn't one of the reasons you moved in the cafe business to avoid some of this stuff?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Expectations are just as high, though.
Yeah, just as high. And people complain just about as lattes as much as they do everything else. So
Yeah. Rather than making them my own pet peeves, I'm just going to ask you guys questions and we can try and do these like rapid fire. Why won't they seat you until the whole party is there?
I think that's ridiculous.
I don't do that.
Yeah,
It happens,
just
right?
absurd. Oh,
And not just me.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing that bothers me, okay, it's a pet peeve.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Now you're going to own it.
Well,
That's a pet peeve, and I think that's fair.
I'm feeling out Eli,
That's annoying.
and I feel like he's going to be with me on this one. But you know, I understand that Resi and Open Table will now assign you a table in the restaurant as soon as you book it. Am I right about that?
yes.
Okay. Sometimes you walk into a restaurant and there's a bunch of empty tables, but you show up and they go, "Oh, your table's just finishing up. It'll be another 10 minutes." Are we just not training the host and the hostess well enough to just say, "Why make this person wait? There's an open table. I'll just swap some people around."
I mean, how deep down this rabbit hole do you want to go?
No, I'm just curious. Like, what is? Am I right? Is
You're
it just like a
absolutely
bad
right.
training
No, this
thing?
is like but this is true. Like, this is a byproduct of technology.
Yes.
Like, basically, long before there were algorithmic reservation systems that assigned tables, there was just
a book.
a book.
And it was like 4 people are coming at 8.
And 4 people are coming at 8. And
You had to
this
work
happens-
that. And you have
this
to push
happened-
it and push it. This guy's taking
But
longer.
this has
guy's-
happened across everything when it comes to technology. Is like when you put the decision making opaquely behind an algorithm, the human tends to get dumber. So like, if you think like the perfect example of this, I think is like autopilot in planes. Like,
I was just gonna say directions.
Yeah. Like,
driving.
Driving. Like no one has a sense of direction anymore.
Yes.
Because GPS means we don't have to anymore.
And we've
so
lost
we don't know
that
how to
skill.
navigate. We've completely lost that skill.
Yeah, that thinking,
And so,
that way
like,
to think like, oh,
the
this
moment,
is happening. What
and
do I
I've
do?
written about this, like when OpenTable went to algorithmic plotting of tables, hosts got dumber.
Yes. Okay.
Like that is just literally what happened. And it's not the host's fault.
They don't have that skill.
They don't have the skill because they're expecting the computer to give the answer.
Yeah.
And
just
it
seems-
really looks super awkward.
It seems
It's
like
so
a restaurant
awkward.
should train, hey, look, if somebody shows up and there's open tables, this is how you swap people around.
That
And
common
there's also
sense
like
knowledge is not there.
or it's like a lack of training or something. I don't know. Or maybe there's just too much
Can you
turnover.
afford to train? It's
Yeah.
typically the highest hourly in the front of the house. It's one of the most transient jobs. Why are you putting,
Yeah.
oddly, the most dynamic position that requires the most chess playing?
Yeah.
We tend to give it to the lowest paid, youngest, least experience in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be like
It's
the maitre
weird.
d'. Like you would work that book and you would be in there and you
Yes.
would be having to do
Yeah.
this like dance of like figuring out, well, table 42 is dragging. Let's put them over at 36 and move,
Yeah.
but that, like Eli said, that's not happening. You're putting an 18-year-old there who's this is their first job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because the technology by definition makes everything else like antisocial, or everything is so much more antisocial. To your point about Gen Z, like it is just interesting as we think about folks coming up in the hospitality industry, like how they're so tethered back to reliance on tech, and that's antisocial in itself. But then you walk into a restaurant, you actually have a social experience with somebody who doesn't know how to engage without that tech, and like you feel it. It's
a great segue talking about handheld devices. Before we get into Shybird, does Mothership take orders on a handheld at the table?
Sometimes,
What do you mean? Why? What different, like some, just,
depending on, we only have so many.
oh, okay. Okay. I know it's Shybird handheld devices.
I'm curious because I have a strong opinion about it, and I know which way I like it. So.
What are you going to say?
I want to hear what you say first.
No.
please help him out.
No, you
Go
go first.
Well, there's a give and take. Go
I
ahead.
love the handhelds as a parent with kids. Like I said, I want to get in there. I want to get out.
But
I hate when they don't
but
write things
the
out.
servers,
Just
yeah.
knowing that they're putting in,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
in, and now I can just relax.
Well,
is great for me.
I definitely think going
Because like you're writing it down, I'm watching you. I'm like, oh, you just went and talked
Yeah,
to
but
that table. Oh, now you're getting them catch-up. Oh, now you're going over there. Well, you definitely didn't write it down, and you definitely forgot it, and you haven't put the order in.
The worst
Like,
is when
kids
they do
melting down.
nothing and they leave your table and they try to memorize it and they come back. You had the fish, right? Or I'm just like, write it down. Like, you don't be a hero.
I love the
here,
handhelds. I
you know,
love the
like,
handhelds.
So the problem I find with the handhelds is you do lose that connection, that ability to sort of like have a conversation. I think Shybird has done a better job of that. I feel like the server's a little more happy to see you and they're more gracious when you show up and you want to, but there are times where like, I feel like you never make eye contact with the server. They're constantly digging around looking for things in the handheld, and it's a long process and you're left kind of staring at this person, basically trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, we use them. Like our servers tend to really like them. I won't ever even pick one up. I'm old. Like I need to go to a traditional POS and stare at it and put in an order if I'm allowed to put in an order at all. Like, but I mean, there's a bunch of things there. Like there's credit card compliance. Like we're moving towards a world where you shouldn't be taking people's credit cards and walking away.
I like that. I'm
And,
fine with that.
Yeah. And so like, but to me, this isn't a restaurant problem. This is a technology problem. Like, I'm sure you've seen it. Like if you have like an Apple Watch, like you can write an E and it recognizes it's an E. Like, I don't understand why you can't just give someone like a little tablet and they can just write like they would, and then it recognizes like,
Swordfish.
This is
Seat 1.
like
No
Swordfish seat 1, and then if you say no lemon, it
just doesn't.
This stuff is all going to happen. Like the whole form factor and the way we think about POS is going to change a lot over the next 5 years because of AI and how technology is advancing. But like, this is a tech problem, not a restaurant problem.
Yeah,
like,
no, that
in my
makes sense.
opinion.
Yeah, totally. It's
The
like-
best is when somebody starts and they're not writing it down, and you're there with 4 people.
Yeah.
And again, Ronnie's got celiac. I've got kids. They're ordering mocktails, all this stuff. And halfway through the order, it dawns on them they should write it down.
I hate that.
So then we're back where we
Yes,
started.
and it start all over.
Like, actually, if you wrote it down, you would have got it.
My
Yes.
go-to move in this,
So easy.
My go-to move in this situation is like if I'm there and the order is even slightly complicated and I'm a guest,
Yes.
and they're not writing anything down, like when they walk away
Yeah.
and they go to the POS, I'll say I have to go to the bathroom. And then I'll stroll over to the server. Hey, I can't remember if I mentioned.
Right.
As a way of trying to remind them,
That's a pro move right
That-
there. I love that.
like, of the thing that like
We call that a
think it's
workaround.
like, yeah. So like,
Should you
but
just
it's
kinda edge up
it's
a
this
little bit? Like,
it's just this like empathy for the restaurant that like I know you're gonna screw this up, and I don't want you to for your sake and mine. But what's a way for me to
I know we don't
nudge
wanna-
you in the right
But
direction?
you're working now to get your order
I
right.
don't mind that.
But I know we don't want to do any more visualizations, but like, can you like, do you just kind of go up behind them over their shoulder? Like, how does that whole
I mean,
thing work?
Hey,
like, I
excuse
don't
me
do it.
there.
I don't do
Did
it
I
every
get the
time.
mozzarella
It obviously-
sticks?
Excuse me, Cindy. Is that your name, Cindy? Hi.
So it does depend on where the
you
service
tap
station
them?
is. Like, I don't do this all the time.
Meanwhile, he's going to the bathroom like 3 times in the first 20 minutes he's there.
Like, fire course 2.
I wanted that. That's me. Did you fire?
Can you just leave the Tosco on the table? I got this.
Cindy, did you fire those starters yet? I'm actually.
All right.
So I have a question for you guys. What do you think as restaurant owners, if you just say, hey, this is, to the point about communication, there's some nuance to this order. Do you mind writing it down? Because we just want you to make sure you get it right. Would it be weird to say that
That's
as
a great
customer?
question because I am a king of awkward conversations, and
That's not
that
awkward.
is something I would say. I'd be like, you can write this down. Don't mind.
Well, that's more awkward than what I said, to be clear. But is it weird to say to a server, like, you'd like
I don't
them
think so. I say to them, I'm like,
do?
you got this? You're not going to write it down. You got it all?
Yeah.
You got it all. There's 5 of us. You got it all? Yeah, I got it. You sure?
Yeah, I don't think it's.
You were thinking about that for a while.
I mean, awkwardness is in the eye of
this
the
is about the
beholder.
banter.
It's not in the eye. It's not in the eye of the
We want this
third.
banter. This is the kind of conversations that we want to have. We want you to be having conversations with your server. And like, are you sure? Because it's like, that's what we want. Because then we understand. We get information. Like, you're a little anxious and you're a little nervous.
That
and
to
like,
me is like should be a non-negotiable training. Like, write everything down. There's
yeah,
no.
we write down.
But there's some
There's
restaurants I
no-
feel like it's a thing of pride.
Yeah,
for
the
their
service
servers.
is like, I don't need to.
antiquated.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
Just write it down.
I don't know my wife's phone number. Like, I can't remember that. Like, we stopped remembering things a long time ago. And like, so it just, the world changed. Like, remembering an 8-top as a badge of honor is like
I would
the
never.
most ridiculous
I just
concept
can't
ever.
wait until somebody does this again to me next. And I have the
Well, we're going.
confidence now.
We dined
Cindy.
together and on our food crawls. Now we're going to be super aware this year. We've had a very bad meal on a food crawl, and we can't even. It's impossible to tell the story about how bad it was.
Well, so
all
many of these
reasons,
many of these things happened. We walked in the restaurant, it came in 2 cars. Restaurant was awkward in front. Our 8-top was just sitting there. No one else is going to sit there. There's one 8-top in the whole
It was
restaurant.
like a Wednesday night.
And like, of course, they couldn't seat us because our whole party had to be there. And I think Dave got distracted by some ice cream shop across the street, so he was dilly-dallying around.
Classic Downing.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah. My favorite part about that meal, though, was the drink cart that they brought around with the NutriBullet on it. That they literally, right behind you as you're having a conversation. Yeah, like, and 8 times. Everybody's drink.
Well,
It was-
because 4 people
it was
ordered a
amazing.
drink
Oh
with the
my, just because
NutriBullet.
you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. Listen, this has been great. I've got 2 or 3 more that are totally superficial.
Let's keep
that
going.
hopefully
Great.
you'll just agree with, because I'm going to delete a lot of this stuff because I sound
Yeah,
like
you
a
may
total
cut some of
ass.
this. We're loose right now, Drew.
The stuff
We're
where I
loose.
feel like an asshole.
Yeah, no.
I'm
What are you
totally cutting
talking
out.
about? We're not cutting this.
Listen,
It's getting long. This is long.
you know what
How
happens?
long is it?
No one's going to listen
It's
this
way
long.
too long.
There's a
We're-
director's cut, and then there's like
I'm letting
the-
it go long because I know this section where I seem like the biggest jerk. I'm just going to cut because I have the power to do that because this is my podcast. So the
But a lot of people listening are going to be like, I could be Drew. Like, I'm so
relate.
glad he's putting himself
You think
out
they
there.
We're all
relate.
Drew. A little. Like, and we all have
Yeah.
some Drew.
Yeah.
I have a little Drew in me.
Yeah, we all do.
The thing is, I got all of it.
Yeah.
Right, you got a lot of Drew.
You just want a little bit in there. Clearing plates before everyone's done eating. This seems like a simple
Depends
thing.
on the restaurant.
Depends on the situation.
Does it really? I always thought that
Absolutely.
was just a rule of thumb. Never clear
I have
until
no issue
everyone
with
is
it.
done eating. Too old school, maybe?
It depends on the
restaurant. Situation.
Yeah. Like,
Okay. Wow. Okay. I thought that was just a given, but I'm wrong. Okay.
What's a given that you're supposed to wait?
That everyone should be done with their food before the plates are cleared.
I mean, generally, you don't want to like leave like one person with clear the entire table and leave one person still eating. That wouldn't be amazing.
Yeah.
But like, keeping it clean, bussing it down, I think
Okay.
that's all fine.
Okay. Fair. This goes back to this restaurant in Atlanta we went to. Lights that are too bright. I don't know why these restaurants can't get the lighting right. It's a mood killer. Sometimes it's so bright in a restaurant, I want to leave. We've gone into a restaurant for the first time and we look around and we're like, it doesn't feel good in here.
That's a part.
Lighting
that's,
is really
yeah,
important.
That's,
Lighting.
that's valid.
Lighting is totally
Part of being a
valid.
retailer.
It's part
valid.
of being a retailer. I'm a broken record here. It is more complicated than you think. Like, we should be talking to designers and general contractors about
The color of the lights,
color of the lighting,
warmth of it.
warmth. Like, we know that we're a 2400 Kelvin restaurant. Like, I know that now because we built 3 of them. And anytime someone tries to get us to be a 2700 Kelvin restaurant,
You're like, nope.
Nope. We're 2400.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like,
it's amazing that you do have to learn that.
I have to
about
learn
your space.
lumens and
Yeah.
I have to learn kelvins and I have to learn like,
Yeah. And sound. The appropriate sound levels too. That's another one.
That's
For
hard.
sure.
That's really hard to get the sound system right, to get the baffle, all the sound dampening stuff. It's just so
and
hard.
it's also like some days it's cloudy and the lighting needs to change based on the fact that it's cloudy.
Right,
it gets
right.
darker at different times of year. Sometimes a restaurant is full of people that are really loud and you need to change the music level, the decibel level to accommodate that. Sometimes like you want us to be manufacturing facilities that produce food. You want us to be creative artists. You want us to be DJs.
Make sure
You want
the
us to be
lighting is right,
designers.
please.
And it's all awesome.
Yeah.
It is all awesome,
But it's so much.
but it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just something.
And it's like one
We would
thing. Like
all
you could go to
benefit
a
from
restaurant and they
recognizing
paced it right, and they didn't give you a $13 little mini cocktail.
just taller with
but you
ice.
know
That's all I
what?
want.
It was 2,700 Kelvin, and not 24.
And I'm never going back
And
there.
it really rubbed me the wrong way. And
Yeah.
it's like,
But I mean, I walked onto the floor of our Fenway location 2 nights ago, and I literally went and sought out the 2 managers working and was like, nailed the lighting.
Yeah. Well done.
Well done. This is perfect.
Vibe just is awesome in here.
Everything feels great. But then it's like you could literally walk in the next night. The lighting could be exactly the same. It could be the exact same time, and it might not feel right. So like,
And
how
Drew
the fuck
Katz
is
may be there complaining about
how
the
is
lighting.
anyone meant to navigate that
complain.
level of nuance?
I don't complain. I don't write bad reviews. I go home and I go, man,
You just complain
it
to
was
us.
a good meal, but it was so bright in there. I'm like, it was so almost
No,
perfect.
it's really like it will ruin an experience.
Yeah. Vibe for me is more important than food a lot of times. I just want to have a good, great place to hang, have a great meal. Like, it doesn't have to be the best food. It's just about the experience of being there, right?
But literally, like, I think it's just important to know for everybody, like, there is
For all
literally
3
nothing.
listeners. For my mother and father listening.
There is
My mom
nothing
will
that
listen.
we've discussed thus far that is actually objective. It's all subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we could try to get it right for Drew, but then it might be completely wrong
right.
for Jesse,
Yeah, and I
or
think-
Cindy, or any of these other, like. So I
Yeah.
think that's just a fascinating thing. Is like we deal almost entirely in subjectivity, and like subjectivity with like infinite permutation. Because what's right for Drew on Wednesday with so and so might not be what's right for Drew.
Yeah, and that's a
next
great-
Saturday
Yeah.
with 3 other people who he's trying to impress, whereas the other person he was totally comfortable with.
And oh, by the way, we're an hour plus in, and we haven't even spoke once about how the food tastes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Also subjective.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, restaurants are so much more than just food.
Yeah.
Thank you both for coming. This has been amazing.
Super fun.
You.
Glad to be
Appreciate your
here.
Eli, that was a lighthearted conversation. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. That was
You're
that was
better
my
than
best
you
effort.
think.
That
You're
was my
better than
best
you think.
effort
I thought that
at
was good, right?
The first thing
lighthearted.
he said was, I don't know how to have a lighthearted conversation. I said, Leela, I don't know about that.
Well, then I said, well, that's why we have Nookie here as well.
Yeah. I
Set
think I
the
talked
mood.
about like technology form factors and Foursquare matrices.
Yeah, no. Hey, where
So I don't know if I'd say it was
where can
lighthearted.
you write a lot about this stuff actually.
I do,
How
yeah.
do we find that?
It's shybird.substack.com and it's called Elided Opinions. So I write a lot about restaurants and culture and
Technology. Yeah. Eli.
I do.
Thank you.
Nookie, where can we find you?
Where can we find you?
Your writings.
I'm just
Do you
your
even
videos.
know the Revival URL?
Yeah, I know it.
What is it?
It's a revivalcafeandkitchen.com
And spelled out.
and spelled out all out. And you can find me at any of the 7
What about
revivals or
How about your
mothership.
cookbook?
Oh, I just had a cookbook come out.
What's that called?
It's called the Nook Book. You can get it at any revival. Also, Porter Square Books.
Nice.
Porter Square book. Good shout out.
Nice.
To bring it full circle, it would be great if we were all wearing matching slippers.
Yeah. All right. On that note,
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Or matching WrestleMania
if you
t-shirts.
supply slippers out there, let us know. Maybe we'll think
People
it over.
want slippers. They don't want socks.
Thank you.
Nobody
Bye.
wants
Bye.
slippers.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Dumpling time.